Good morning. It's my birthday someday this week, and birthdays are exciting. We haven't talked about birthdays yet, and really they're worth celebrating. Why? God has waited for all eternity to place you and I into the era into which we were born, making sure that the people that surround us will help lead us closer to the God who loves us, who has promised us to be there at the end of our lives and every single step along the way. A birthday is also a special time to remember the people from whom we come, on whose shoulders we stand. In my case, remembering my parents and my grandparents, and my great-grandparents, whom I never met, but I've got pictures hanging in one of my rooms to remind me of this journey that we make in which we are all connected to one another. So what does a birthday mean? It's almost to me as though God has held his breath, waiting for the exact moment when everything would work out in such a way, kind of plopping me into the timeline of the universe. Born on a certain day, born in a certain year, born in a certain country, speaking a certain language, on a trajectory that has my fingerprints and God's fingerprints all over it. None of our lives unfold the same way. That's not a surprise. You know that. And yet, sometimes we compromise by wishing that our lives reflected more of what someone else's life looked like. I wish this would happen, or I wish I would have had that experience, or I wish these people had been my parents instead of the parents that I had. And yet, grace is present every step of the way. God's Spirit unfolds an invitation to me this year, this week, to live in a new way, to embrace the graces that I have gained over this past year through struggles and through challenges, but also through great joys. How will I come to know God better? What invitation lies there at the edge of my vision, at the edge of my heart? And God extending a divine hand to me, saying, will you walk forward with me? Will you take this step into tomorrow, where I already am, and I will lead you? The promises that exist for us, the potential, is only there if I will trust, if I'll put my hand in the hand of God and follow where God leads. Now, sometimes that's a challenge, and often in the future, into where God leads me or leads us, change is required. Change can be really hard. We use our energy to establish a routine around our lives so that we don't have to navigate or think overly hard about decisions. So much of what we do is on automatic pilot. And yet, as we approach a new year through a birthday, it becomes a window, a threshold into another reality where we have not lived yet. So why in the world would I live tomorrow the same way I've lived today? The graces are new. The opportunities are new. I'm new. There's a promise there to help me with the changes that God lays before me. What if I have to let go of something that I've become really particularly attached to, or someone that I've become attached to? What will God reveal? My birthday reminds me that into this world I came with nothing but the love of God. And therefore I want to live this life every day with that, in basking in that same love. I celebrate your life too. May God be with us both.